Welcome back to Squelch, the Video Game Book Club. I'm Dano.
I'm Mad at Arms.
And I'm Storm Rage. And I'm Storm Rage. And I'm Storm Rage. And we're here to remind everyone that games are supposed to be fun, and Chrono Trigger is one of those games. Now, did I do that intentionally? Perhaps. Perhaps time is not quite as fluid or quite as streamlined as one might expect. And this week we are talking about Chrono Trigger. We're talking about the beginning of the game through the end of time. Boy, howdy. You'd think that might be the end of the game, but it sure isn't. Nope. It's just the start.
It's the beginning.
Next week we will be playing from the end of time through the Reptite layer or liar?
Layer.
Okay. We will be using an old ACS2 walkthrough for this game to help us with scheduling.
ASCII.
Okay. Both the walkthrough and the timeline are pinned in Discord.
That's how all their walkthroughs used to be back in the day, by the way. It was dweebs in basements who, in WordPad, did fancy art and typed everything out that you needed to know. And there was no spell check.
I was not quite at the level of this for walkthroughs, but I do remember having to go onto certain web pages to print off walkthroughs and or print off cheat codes, and then I just have binders full of walkthroughs and or cheat codes for games that I was struggling with.
That is the way.
This is the golden age of the internet, when the internet was good.
I mean, you're not wrong. Did you ever call Nintendo Power, Matt?
I never called Nintendo Power because my parents wouldn't let me.
It was a 1-800
number. Like you. No, it was a 1-900 number, sir. It was $1 at least a minute.
Was it? Oh,
they charged you. They charged your telephone company for that. Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't pay it, so there we go. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Hey, so we're playing Chrono Trigger right now. We got 4 weeks of it, and I'm super excited about this. I absolutely love this game. Also, happy birthday, Chrono Trigger, 30 years young. I mean, time's kind of getting to you a little bit, but you still look great. It's currently the
CRT mod.
It's currently the Steam Spring Sale, and so we decided to spend some money and plan out the next literal year of the podcast. So those who want to participate, here are the games we're going to be playing, so you can purchase them if you want, as well as how we're going to kind of format things going forward, because things got a little bit off the rails with Mass Effect. I think we played a lot, and it was hard for people to keep up. So we're kind of trying to slow it down a little bit so more people can play along. And so we're not putting out 2 hours episodes of Squelch every week, which was a lot on our end as well. So
if you thought that we spent a long time on Mass Effect, friends, just wait.
Well, yeah, this is true. So first of all, we're aiming for 6 hours a week. That's what we're kind of looking at for the expectation for ourselves to play each game. Now,
not the podcast, the gameplay.
Yes.
Just to be clear.
Yes, 6 hours of gameplay per week. So, the idea is to kind of play through the main story and then get some of, the major side quests or something like that in the games that we're playing. If you want to play for more than 6 hours, I'm going to probably end up doing, kind of get a little bit more into the game. But if you have limited time, the main story, with the goal is to get main story done with 6 hours a week. So because the games are going to be 6 hours a week, we are going to be playing some of these games for over a couple of months instead of 1 month. So
I am just looking at I think this is very funny. After Chrono Trigger, we will be playing Dragon Age until December almost?
No, October. Well,
okay,
through October.
We'll be playing 4 Dragon Age games until December.
So Dragon Age Veilguard did go on sale for 50% off, which put it at $30, which put it in Squelch budget range.
It does.
We have added Veilguard to the docket. So we are starting with Dragon Age Origins, going into Dragon Age 2, into Dragon Age Inquisition, and then into Dragon Age the Veilguard. We're going to start that when we are done here with Chrono Trigger, middle of April 15th-ish. And then we're going to roll in through October with Dragon Ages. So I'm legitimately excited. I'm kind of excited to see how Veilguard kind of holds up. I think it should be pretty interesting. After Veilguard, we are going to either hop into Mass Effect Andromeda or maybe play like a short game there. So Andromeda, we are going to play that for Xmas Effect. Xmas Effect may be November, December timeframe, but we are going to play Andromeda around Christmas again this year to kind of keep up the Mass Effect, Xmas Effect tradition. And then from there, we are going into Fallout. We're going to play Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4 back-to-back. And that is going to go through next April. So the literal next 12 months of the podcast, there you go. All these games except for Veilguard are dirt cheap. I don't think a single one of them is above $10. So I think Dragon Age Inquisition is $7. Fallout 3 Game of the Year is $9. Fallout 4 Game of the Year is $9. So yeah.
And if I was to guess, just a guess, I would guess that sometime, if you're thinking, I don't know if I can afford $30 for Dragon Age Veilguard, we're not playing it until September. That game did not get a stellar reception. It'll probably go on sale for about $30 or less at some point between now and then. I think it's fair to risk it if you want to wait till the summer sale to buy that.
Yeah. I picked it up on 40% like 2-3 weeks ago, so I was like, there's no way it's getting cheaper than 40%. So, and then it was immediately 50%. I was like, well, wasting some money there. So I also think it is a Game Pass game already. Veilguard is.
I think it, yeah.
So if you want to do that instead, that is also an option if you don't want to. But the rest of these games are all absolute classics and just totally dirt cheap. If you haven't got Chrono Trigger and you listen to this episode, you're like, that game sounds pretty awesome. It's $4 right now in Steam. So it's 75% off. It's only $15, currently $4. So
if you want to do that, $3. I think it was also like $3 on your phone if you really just want to like do it in bed on your phone. It's like it was $3 like about a week, like couple days ago. So I think it still might be. So
there you go. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. We're gonna be playing a lot of RPGs, like Swall just mentioned in the chat there. But I love me some RPGs. I think these guys do as well. So we're going to be doing that for a while. So I hope you guys are excited as we are. And then the exciting part is around Dragon Age Inquisition, Dragon Age 2 time, Sheep is coming back to join the podcast. So Sheep will be back again very, very soon. I'm legitimately excited about that. So I cannot wait. So Sheep's will be coming back around Dragon Age 2, around Inquisition, one of those two. So he'll be hopping in. So it'll be fantastic. Anything you guys want to add?
It's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward. I have not played a Dragon Age at all. So
I have played one of the games on the list for the next year.
Nice.
I've played, I think, 2 hours of Dragon Age Inquisition, or one of the Dragon Ages. And I got bored because I tried to do a side quest, and in every open world game, the second I do a side quest, I go, this is dumb, and then I never come back to it. So I need to be sticking on those main quests to get all the way through.
Oh, we're going to talk about Inquisition as we get closer. There's going to be a mod that I'm going to suggest that will make Inquisition a lot more playable. Because there is an in-game mechanic in Inquisition which kind of requires side quests. So it's a simple mod that gets rid of that, the war table essentially, which helps ton in making Inquisition a lot more playable. And then also, like, Inquisition was brutal because the first zone you get into is basically just this giant open world side quest slog. And it's awful.
That's where I stopped. That's why I couldn't get out of.
It's the worst zone in the game. Like, you just got to get out of there as soon as possible. And then the rest of the game opens up and it's pretty fun and interesting. But that first one is awful. Like, you have to want it to get out of get out of the hinterlands. So All right, here we go. I got something very important I want to talk about.
Objection! 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 Objection!
Okay,
19.
my favorite part about the objection drop now on Twitch is just your mouth opens the entire time.
That as well. I thought about getting like a slide in there, but I didn't have time to put one together. And I was like, I don't need one because this is actually objectively funnier.
Before you get to your actual objection, I do want to know that's not what this bit has ever been. Objection has exclusively been you were not on last week's pod. So here's what your thoughts on last week's pod were. Dano, you've taken this into a new direction. You've decided to do this in I was on last week's pod and I have criticisms.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great.
You're welcome.
I just want to make sure I was understanding.
I just want to also be really clear. I did this in the middle of a pod once where you made a claim and I objected to it right away and we did the drop.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a bad time for everybody.
No, it was perfect.
I love the objection drop so much. Anyways, here is this very important thing I want to say. Last week, Storm Rage and I compared, and Matt was there as well. We compared to see who was the best Commander Shepard. I won, but in After Dork, we did determine that I may have benefited from a little bit of New Game Plus shenanigans, because I was using a New Game Plus save that I had modified in order to save Caden, which was the objectively right decision. I went back to Mass Effect, my original Mass Effect 3 save that I brought over and played through about the first Citadel mission.
Daniel, I don't know what you're about to say, but I'm just going to mute you just on principle because I don't need to hear what's coming out.
So I brought this up in Discord and Storm Rage refused to acknowledge it, so I'm bringing it up on the podcast. I went and I looked, and what this was it was war assets from the mining that you did during Mass Effect 2. So I had 100, he had 25. We were wondering, maybe I had that bonus 75 because of New Game Plus. I went and I looked. I did not. I had the full 100 war assets that was available from Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3 because I had done so much mining during Mass Effect 2 in the original playthrough. So I did have that full 100 war assets. Just wanted to bring that up because I think that everybody wants to know. So yeah, that's all I really had to say. Anything to say for yourself there, Storm Rage, or are we good?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I muted you, and so I have no idea what was happening.
It's perfectly fair.
I just want to say I actually won my calculator run during the podcast.
I'm very proud of you as well.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Hey, a big thank you to our patrons and Twitch subs. We're back on Twitch. If you didn't know that, we did bring it up a couple of times, but here we go. If you want to throw a Prime sub or a non-Prime sub at us, you can get access to Squelch After Dork through our Discord. So as long as you have Discord and Twitch set up, you will automatically get added to the patron channel, which is where I put the After Dork. If you are a patron, you get access to all that through the podcast already, through the patron feed already. It'll also be an After Dark if you want. If you're a $5 above patron, you will continue to get the complete unedited podcast on Sunday nights through Patreon. So, yeah, there you go. This week on After Dork, we are going to talk about which games we are most looking forward to playing from the new list of our next calendar year. Should we hop into our Chrono Trigger recap?
Let's do it.
Thank you, Gato. We begin, as many tales in JRPGs often begin, with our hero waking up. His mom and Kat are in the room, and Lean's bell, Lean rhymes with queen. Now, I do want to note that Dano has written the first half of this, and very thankfully has put in pronunciation guides. So I'm also going to let you all know what those pronunciation guides are, because some of them are gems. Lean's bell is ringing. Today is the Millennium Fair. Chrono goes downstairs and pets the cat, which is a massive green flag that is going to be a great game. And his mom asks him what his best friend for his entire life's name is, because what are you gonna do? Remember that information? Get out of here. We remind our forgetful mother that her name is Luca. Dano, why wasn't there a pronunciation guide for Luca?
How else would you pronounce Luca Stormrage?
Luca?
No.
Luca.
No,
Okay.
you
My
don't.
bad. My bad. I will modify the show notes for next week to include
Thank you very much.
for Luca.
Before we leave our house, our mother stops to give us our allowance. It's 200 gold. Using the current conversion rate of $2,985.51 per ounce, our mom just gave us around $597,102 to use at the fair. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, you can buy a dozen eggs.
You could buy at least a dozen eggs, maybe even 2 dozen.
Timely.
At this point, Chrono could go directly to the Millennium Fair, which is what I did, or he
Same.
could walk to the town of Pore, where the mayor will pay him 10 gold to humiliate himself by doing a little jig. The mayor will pay him 10 gold each time Chrono humiliates himself by doing this little dance. For the rich man, that's $3,000 for each silly dance. Don't mind if I do. Also, it is best not to think too hard about this. After dancing for the rich man, we can go back to up north and listen to an old man's story for 300 gold and steal 100 gold from the mayor of our town. Honestly, it's his fault for putting it in an easy to find and open chest. Now, it is time for the fair. There are a lot of fun things to do at the fair. I didn't do many of them. We can run into a wall to see how strong we are. We can bet on a lizard man and a cat to see who is fastest. We can go into a circus tent where a literal copy of Chrono wants us to do exactly what they do, but on a very hard to pin down sound cue. It's impossible because the sound cue is so hard to hear. I'm sure this is something that won't come up this entire playthrough.
Right? Oh,
It's a bit of a recurring theme during the first 4 hours of this game.
So before we get too far, how did you guys feel about, like, this to me is like the opening place setting for this adventure. Before we get too much into the fair and meet some of our other friends, how'd you guys feel about these few opening segments?
So I absolutely love it because it kind of goes to show like the peaceful times they're living in, right? You can go anywhere on the continent. You can like Pore is down in the south. You can go up north. You can just go anywhere without fighting any sort of monsters. You can go into any door. You can talk to any person. It's just like a time of like safety and happiness, and it's just bright and cheerful, and it's just a really fun start to the game. The Millennium Fair is an absolute blast. I think it's so cool. I actually went into the forest and ground a few levels because I'm a sicko.
You sure are.
right?
But I love this intro.
Matt, how about yourself?
I love it. Just like you said, you're setting up this lovely time. You you get to do all these little mini games. You get to you get to live in the world a little bit before the story gets started. And it's kind of great. I kind of love it.
I mean, to me, this is very much a prototypical JRPG. Like, I don't think that there's anything that is revolutionary about it, but it's just well done. The music is good. The world building is fun, and I think it does a good table setting. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I think it's good. I think it's really solid. After goofing around at the fair, we figure it's time to go find our friend, Luca, who we definitely remember their name of now. But bang! A girl about our age runs into Chrono and knocks him out cold. She seems to have lost something. Chrono talks to her and learns that she lost her pendant. You help her find her pendant. It's right behind her. And she introduces herself as... Now, Dano, you wrote Marl, as in it rhymes with snarl, but I much prefer Marley, because Marl is a crazy name for a person. Marl is a crazy name.
It is, but her name is Marl.
Then why the E? The E is unnecessary.
Well, because that's how... I don't know. I don't know how names are weird, man. I don't know.
It's Marley.
It's not Marley. It's
actually
Marl. It's 100% Marl.
No, it's Marley. It's
not
her real name anyway. It's Marl. It's Marley.
Her name is Marl. Her name is Marl, and that is not up for debate. It is Marl.
She introduces herself as M and wants Chrono to take her around the fair. What a fun time. New friends are always fun. M and Chrono help find a little girl who lost her cat. They fight a friendly robot that sings a friendly song. Chrono can eat an old man's lunch, oopsie doopsie. Chrono participates in a drinking contest. And they visit a swordsmith named Melchior, who wants us to buy M's pendant. The game asks us if we want to sell M's pendant, and if Chrono tries to sell it, M will stop him, because it's her ding-dang pendant and not his to sell. Well, it's time to go see Luca's big scientific show, because Luca and her dad are inventors. On the way up to Luca's show, M decides she wants some candy. She takes so long. Oh. Chrono could try to drag her away early if he is a jerk, but he could also just wait patiently. Boy, howdy, is patience not a virtue I have in video games?
Nope.
There are some weird details we're providing, and there's definitely not any reason for those specific details.
None whatsoever.
Back to Luca's amazing invention show. Luca and her dad have 2 literal teleportation pads set up in the square, and they're asking for volunteers. M volunteers immediately, because what could possibly be dangerous about human teleportation? Nothing. Because, well, oopsies, something does go wrong, and M disappears into a blue portal with only her pendant left behind. Cue the heroic music, because Chrono steps into the teleportation pad with M's pendant and volunteers to rescue her. What a guy! We step inside, and we are teleported somewhere. We don't know where yet, but we are in a grass field surrounded by trees. We try to leave, but we are immediately stopped by some imps. Uh-oh. We fight them, and it turns out we are in Truce Canyon, and that our village is down there, but that's not our house. And the houses look a little different, and the people are all pretty different. If I'm honest, a bit more of a bummer of a crowd. First, when you start, pretty fun people. Fun, silly things going on. Now, not as many fun, silly things going on. It sounds like everyone is very concerned that Queen Lean was missing, but they are all relieved that she was just recently found. Is there anything about that? Probably not. What, like Queen Lean from 400 years ago? That's 400 years ago. Huh. Chrono, no relation, is gonna figure this out, though. Why wouldn't that be his name? We'll figure it out later. Well, some dude named Toma. Yep.
There is no H in Chrono's name, so it's just a weird coincidence that Chrono and Chrono happen to sound the same. There's homonyms.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Some dude named Toma thought Queen Lean is in the heckin' creepy cathedral by the castle, but is like, well, I guess I was wrong. Chrono can go to the cathedral and confirm that the nuns are heckin' weird, but that doesn't seem to be anything else to it. Well, only one place to go: the castle. With this, do you want to take a quick break and chat about kind of teleporting to the new world and having to rescue the our most recent friend?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's perfect. Like you jump right into it. Like, and here's the game. Yeah. Welcome to the game. You are already like flying through time. Like you were in 1000 AD, and then if you stop for a second, a 600 AD appears, below. Again, you can like kind of like walk around the continent, but you can't go as far. You can only go as far as the bridge, because the bridge is currently under attack. There is like guards there and an army, and you can't get through, and it's a complete different kind of feel to everything. It's super cool. There's like smoke in the air from like presumably war. Very, very cool. I suppose like the sky was blue in like 1000 AD, but here it's all overcast and dark and kind of grimy. Yep. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Matt, any thoughts?
It's such a different, like it's immediate, like, oh, this is different. This is strange. What's going on? Mm-hmm. And then you get into the story, and you get to meet the people, and it's so different. And like, the people can all comment like, oh, you're dressed very strangely, and it's just like I just love the opening to this game so much.
Like the bar is packed with people, and it's like different
there's soldiers everywhere. Yeah. It's great, like, because they're fighting the fiends. It's great. Love it.
To me, like, a lot of this is real prototypical, borderline cliche JRPG energy, but I think that that's mostly because they all steal from Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
So, like,
100%.
this is where all of those cliches and tropes come from. So it's kind of nice to see that. Because I've played a million games that have, like, almost this exact style of plot, but all of them obviously came after Chrono Trigger. And it's just nice to see kind of the roots of where those stories come from.
Yeah, something to think about and remember about this game. So when this game was created, Squaresoft was still Squaresoft and Enix was still Enix. They were separate companies. So Dragon Quest was its own series, and they were competing with Final Fantasy. Dragon Quest loaned one of their lead developers to Square to help make this game. So it really was like a super team up. And then they had like just the best artists and the best composers. It was like an all-star lineup. It was like, what if we made the best JRPG ever? What would happen? And it was they put together this super team basically. This is super cool. It's just so awesome.
And this is right on the heels of Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Because this came out a year after Final Fantasy VI, and Final Fantasy VI is probably one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. And this is probably right up there. This is up there. I'm just saying. Spoiler alert for the final episode.
Back to the game. Chrono goes to the castle, and the guards are like, "Who are you? We're at war," and are about ready to toss you in jail. But you are saved by Queen Lean. What a nice gal. Queen Lean looks a little familiar, and she informs everyone that you saved her and then invites you up to her room, which is totally 100% not at all a weird thing. You get up to her room, and when you two are alone, she surprises you by saying she is M. Sweet. Mission accomplished. Let's GT out of here. But wait, what is happening? M screams and then disappears. Again.
She gets back to the future.
Chrono leaves the queen's quarters after she disappears, and nobody seems worried about this. Although somebody does ask if anything happened, and you could say yes, and then she goes, "Don't tell anybody."
They also kind of like, hey, so what are you and the queen doing in her quarters? That's fine. It's cool. No big deal. MBD.
Not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
As Chrono is expediting his way out of the castle where he was the last person to see the queen alive, he runs into Luca. Luca figured everything out. They traveled through time using a portal and are in 600 AD, and M is actually Princess Nadia. When M should be up in 600 AD, they thought they had found the queen, but they hadn't. When M showed up in 600 AD, they thought they had found the queen, but they hadn't. So when the queen was red-rummed?
It's murder backwards.
Got it. The rest of her line also disappeared, which is why M also disappeared. So we gotta go see Queen Lean before we save M.
I got to say, okay, can you please pronounce Marl's actual birth name one more time for me, please?
Marley?
No, Nadia. It's just Nadia. Princess Nadia.
Oh, Princess Nadia.
I didn't think I needed to give a pronunciation for Nadia.
Fair. To be fair, Nadia sounds really cool.
I mean, you're not wrong. I was like, oh, maybe I'm the one who's wrong here. I'm like, oh.
I mean, it's not like they give you a pronunciation guide in game, and you can just rename the characters anything you want. But also, yeah.
And there is no like, it's 1995, 1994 RPG, right? There's no one saying these names. It's just text on a screen, which I thought was like, I'm like, oh, I'm probably so spoiled with having like voiceover and stuff. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to. Nope. That didn't even bother me one bit. Like right into it. Nope. It's so good. Sorry, go on. I did not mean to give you grief. I'm very sorry about that.
How dare you in this podcast of friends and no grief giving? Well, we better figure this out, so we head over to that weird cathedral. And this time we talk to the nuns, and they seem to think that Chrono is going to taste good. What a weird sentence that is. After walking all the way in, it turns into an ambush, and they aren't regular nuns, but Naga nuns, and they're not gonna deal with you. They want to turn Chrono into a sandwich. A Naga sandwich.
If you will.
Dano also did put in parentheses, I am proud of myself for this one.
Chrono is the best good.
Chrono and Luca take care of them, but they didn't see the final Naga Nun waiting for the final attack from the rafters of the cathedral. Just as the final Naga was about to help Luca shave off this mortal coil, Chrono and Luca are saved by a man-sized frog wielding a greatsword. The frog introduces himself as Frog. This rhymes with bog. And he informs us that he is here to save Queen Lean, and he joins the party. Chrono, Luca, and Frog make their way through the cathedral, fighting off fiends and saving soldiers as they go. At one point, they hear some of the monsters talking about someone called the Fiend Lord, and how they are part of his army. What's that? The kingdom of Guardia.
Guardia, I
Guardia.
think it's Guardia.
Yeah.
The kingdom of Guardia is at war with the Fiend Lord and his armies. It seems like they are the ones behind the kidnapping of Queen Lean. After fighting through the cathedral, we get to the end, and the Chancellor of the Kingdom of Guardia with Queen Lean. And we save them. She is very excited to see Frog, but as she tries to warn us, the Chancellor leaps over his desks and transforms from the Chancellor to a monster called Yakra. It's our first boss fight. We hopefully kill Yakra and rescue Queen Lean. We also find the Chancellor locked up in a chest. We return to the castle as heroes. Frog says he failed to save Queen Lean failed to keep Queen Lean safe and runs off, even though he did literally just rescue her. So Frog, my dude, you did the job. It was just a little bit late. And what about M? Well, she is upstairs in the Queen's chambers. She is more or less just fine and just hanging out. But she does describe a terrible bleak view of the afterlife. Well, best to move on and forget about that because we have a fair to get back to. We head back to Truce Canyon, and Luca has a key that she has made that unlocks time vortexes. Well, isn't that cool? Luca invented time travel and human teleportation. Not bad for a weekend's work. How'd you guys feel about this level, saving the queen, and all that jazz?
I love Frog.
Yeah,
Frog is like
Frog
one of
is
my
great.
favorite characters in this game. Like, just downright. Like, he, like just in this, like, because, spoiler alert, he might show up.
What?
But, I don't know. You never know. He
my
might show up later.
game?
You never, you get bounced through time. It's a thing that happens. Yeah, this is, like, this whole section is great. The whole, like, not, like, part in the church is probably one of my favorite areas. I love the boss fight. And, yeah, it's just so much fun. It's just fun, just looking for every little chest, every little thing. I just love it.
The storytelling they do in the cathedral is fantastic because you kind of you run into fiends who are like disguised as humans from the castle to kind of like give away that this is, you know, that they are infiltrated the Kingdom of Guardia's royal court. You get to hear them talking in the background, talking about the Fiend Lord this and the Fiend Lord that. It's just really cool bits of storytelling while also just working through a very stock standard JRPG dungeon. The cool thing about the number one, the best thing about Chrono Trigger, there are no random battles in Chrono Trigger. All of them are, you can see the enemies and they have very specific triggers that set them off when you walk by certain places. So you don't ever have any random encounters. You see all of them coming. And so you kind of wander through, you kind of see them about their day, about their work, standing watch as you will. And I think it's so much more fun and so much better than random encounters because the fact that we were still doing random encounters after Chrono Trigger came out is just mind-bottling to me. It bottles the mind.
I did not know you could do that.
You can
what?
just walk around. You can
Walk
not-
around
You
them.
can just walk past them.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I have successfully failed to do that many, many times.
I mean, at this point in this game, you want the encounters because
Yes.
you need to get the levels. You need to like do the battles. You need to get the loot. You need to get the levels up because otherwise you're not going to be ready to fight the bosses.
But like in Guardia Forest, like I just run through there and I don't trigger a single one of those fights. In the sewers, I run around that. I trigger like one fight, I think. Like once you get the hang of like moving around some of them, it's really easy to move around the fights. But like Matt said, most of the time you want to trigger the fights because you need the experience. But like once you're kind of returning to areas for a second or a third time, like I just like blow past them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, after we are definitely heroes, saved the princess, saved the queen, saved the timeline, we head back through to be welcomed as heroes. And we're immediately arrested and put on trial.
Like most heroes.
They
Like
claim
most
that we
heroes.
kidnapped the princess. M is pretty adamant that she, in fact, was not kidnapped, but the Chancellor doesn't care about her opinion. What is she gonna know? She wasn't kidnapped at all. We need to prosecute someone because he has feelings. Chrono must go on trial, and while on trial, the Chancellor will bring up a number of witnesses, and they will testify about Chrono's character. The questions are as follows. Did Chrono bump into M, or did M bump into Chrono? Was Chrono tempted by M's fortune? And then there will be some witnesses that are called. The witness number 1, did you help the little girl find her cat? Witness number 2, did you eat the old man's lunch? Oopsies. Witness number 3, did Chrono pick up the pendant first or check on M first? Witness number 4, did Chrono try to rush M while she was buying candy? Or witness number 5, did Chrono try to sell M's pendant to Melchior? And depending on all of this, depends on whether or not you are judged as innocent or guilty. I have an issue with this.
Okay.
Objection, you say you have
do you have an objection?
I would not say that. I did not say that.
It is even funnier watching it on no fault but your own.
How is this my fault? At no point did I say the word. At no point was I the one that instigated this.
This is a trial, and you have a problem. I would say that's an objection.
No, okay.
So I will get to this later. Had many issues with the controls of this game for a while. And I still have had many issues with this game. When M runs into you, the pendant is right behind her. When you talk to her, she says, "Oh, I've lost my pendant." So I did that. I talked to her first, and then I grabbed the pendant. But then I had to close the game down because I had to reset a bunch of different things because nothing was working right. So then I reset it, and then I saw the pendant, and I was like, "Oh, well, I know where the pendant is now. I'm just going to go grab the pendant and then give it to her immediately." And the game remembered the second time, which I think is ridiculous, because the only reason I grabbed the pendant is because I knew she had lost the pendant.
Did you eat the old man's lunch?
I did do that, and I felt bad. I didn't actually think it was going to have consequences, because what game would have consequences to my actions?
Did you?
I did not eat the old man's lunch.
Did you wait patiently while Marl tried to pick out her candy?
I did do that. But I did not. So I missed on. I grabbed the pendant first. I never talked to the cat. I didn't know that there was a cat at all. And I think I said that M bumped into me because I thought that genuinely she did.
Well, she did.
And then in the replay, it showed me bumping into her, and then I was given a guilty for that.
You were gaslit by the game, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, I completely missed. I talked to the cat, and the cat wouldn't follow me. So
you have to talk to it once. We talked to it twice. It runs away.
Oh, okay. Fine. I didn't eat the lunch because I didn't know where it was, and I said no to the first prompt. I said no, I'm not selling the pendant, and I was curious because like JRPG, you can pick both options and nothing will happen, right? I said yes, and then it's like no, you don't do that. I'm like okay, whatever, and then the trial happened. How did y'all do on the trial, by the way?
I was barely innocent. I was a 4-3 not guilty.
Same.
I was also innocent.
7-0?
I missed like one, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. I'm trying to look at which one I got wrong. I can't remember. I picked up her pendant first because like, oh, I know what to do. She lost her pendant. She's obviously looking for something. There's a pendant on the ground. I will go get the pendant and give it to her. Didn't work.
Sure did.
But the rest of them I got right.
You know what?
So.
Whether you might think, well, if you're innocent, then surely that you don't have to go to jail. Wrong! Jail no matter what. Either way, the criminal justice system or the criminal justice system, we go to jail. And we get put in jail because the chancellor just really thinks we're guilty. Other consequences be darned. It doesn't matter. We're going into jail. We can either escape by rattling the cages and annoying the guards to let us out, essentially, because they want to beat us up, and then we decide we can beat you up. Or we could just wait for our time to serve, because it's 3 days until our execution. And yes.
So when we are innocent, we still get punished. It's like, okay, you're innocent, but you still have to serve 3 days in jail. And then the chancellor's like, okay, when he takes you to jail, he goes, okay, this person's being executed in 3 days. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And even the warden's like, I didn't get those orders. And he was like, you're getting new orders. I am curious, did both of you escape by beating up the guards, or did either of you wait the 3 days?
No, I beat up the guards. I was like, I'm not sitting here in this cell for any more time.
I waited for Luca.
Okay, fantastic. So we can either escape by beating up the guards, or we can wait, and Luca will break us out. Either way, we probably go around killing a bunch of guards. I don't know if those are going to have consequences later. It feels like they maybe will, but I don't know anymore. This game's weird.
Did you?
And then we meet up with the...
Sorry,
what?
You can knock out the guards, too. Did you know that? If you sneak up behind them, you can knock them out and then steal a mid potion from them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I did that once.
Yeah, it's like if you sneak up kind of behind them, it gives a little exclamation mark, and then you bonk them on the head, and they just go unconscious. There's still the random, there's still the ones those shield mobs. You still have to kill those, but the random guards, you can just knock them out.
That feels like that's gonna come back to haunt me later, Dano.
I can't remember if it does or doesn't. I don't think it does.
Okay. Either way, we eventually break out of the jail and we meet up with the princess as she tries to plead our case that we did not kidnap her last time. It doesn't work. The king decides to put us to jail. Even though we were found innocent, none of that matters. So what do? We yeet on out of there. We slip into a time portal and we find ourselves in the year 2300 AD. We find a town. It isn't a good time. There's no food. We should probably get them food. We go down and explore the food stores. Uh-oh, it's all expired. We fight a big robot. Yes, Dano.
Can we talk about what this overworld looks like real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when we get to 2300, this overworld it's all dome cities, but all the dome cities are cracked in and destroyed, and everything is just this dark, hazy, dusty brown color. It's just super cool. You're very obviously in some post-apocalyptic future, and everything is completely scuffed. It is so cool. The storytelling they do in just the overworld in each of these different worlds is just so much fun. It's so simple and so awesome.
The art is really on point. It feels post-apocalyptic immediately. There's this haze in the air. It's all grays.
There's wind everywhere. It's just that wind, that wind sound. The music is incredible in this section. It's overstated. I'm not overstating how good the music is in this game. I'll get to that later.
It's really, really solid. But all the food is expired. We fight a robot. We find the last seed of food in existence, perhaps. We run into the most infuriating puzzle in any video game that has ever been made. I hate this thing so much. This stupid door cursed me for hours upon hours. I hate this stupid code thing so much.
It's just bugged. It's bugged. It's honestly bugged because so Storm Rage and I got on a call and literally just sat there for 20 minutes trying to figure it out, and I was like, well, what if you don't change the key bindings? Does that work? And that's what we ended up having to do. So we had to use the default key bindings for keyboard,
which are terrible, which are just the worst choices for key bindings they possibly could have made for that game.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they made such a bad choice. It's like somebody had never seen a keyboard before, and they just threw 6 random letters on there, and they were like, this'll work.
So this is we can talk about this later too, I think we might actually, but this was initially you pressed 2 buttons at the same time simultaneously or something like that. So this was a change from what it was originally, but then this is a port of a port. This is like a mobile port of the DS game, which is the DS game's a port of the SNES game. And so when they ported it to the to Steam, I think they just glommed on a keyboard thing and then put just like some unpaid interns like afternoon on a Friday's effort into it. And this is what you got. It's not playable on keyboard.
No. I we'll get to it later. I had a frustrating time with this game because of mouse and key. But you know what? We eventually find out where the time portal to back home is. We also find out that in the year 1999 AD, there was an explosion of some sort. And it seems like, based on the things that we've seen, a lava demon just kind of caused an apocalypse. It destroyed the entire world and caused it to become this post-apocalyptic state. We come back to the town and give them the seed, and while they are sad that we didn't get any food, a seed is something. We're told, hey, don't go check out the mutant sewers. It's not helpful right now. I immediately checked out the mutant sewers because the game doesn't tell me what to do. You can go find some gear and end up in a place that you're not supposed to be at yet, so you backtrack and go to where you're supposed to go. You can head into the mountain pass that can only be accessed by riding a pretty cool motorbike. We meet an all-time NPC named Bro. He also has a name, but I don't care about the name. The robots call him Bro, so Bro he shall be. He challenges us to the easiest race ever. Again, a lot of this game is really good, and I like a lot of the design. And then there's moments like this that I'm like, what is happening here? This is pretty dumb. You just don't
Mode
use
7.
What?
That's what this is. This is Mode 7. This is Mode 7 stuff. It's like, the faux 3D that the Super Nintendo used all the time.
Oh, sure. Just if you're wondering how to win, just use turbo at the last second and you win. That's all it is. It's literally all it is.
I definitely didn't take 2 or 3 times to win this race.
No, you all you do is just try to stay in front of it. You go down actually, here's the tip. You go down the path a little bit, pick up an item, walk back, and then do it, and then you can adjust the camera to be behind you.
You have to win the race first before you can use it, but yeah.
No, you don't have to win the race the first time.
Don't you? I thought because it's like 2 different modes.
It gives you mode 2, which doesn't have boost, but you can just adjust the camera to be behind you and stay in front of the guy, which is pretty
You can
easy.
also just go up and down the entire time, and then you just eventually hit boost right at the end, and then you win.
or you can just walk and just get past it by walking. That's also a thing you can do. But there's more fights that way.
I walked it the first time.
Yeah.
Got that experience.
I didn't know you could, so that's a fun thing. We get to the other side and find a robot. Luca decides to fix this robot. The robot is called Robo, rhymes with Tobo. Decides that he will help us get to the time portal. One of our party has to stay behind as we head to the next location. Why? Weird. It's only... You're only allowed to have 2 companions at any given time. That feels familiar. Oh well. We fight our way past an army of conveyor belts where Dano and Matt got a lot of XP, and then eventually come across another stupid door that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work the way that it's supposed to work. We fight a boss. Robo gets attacked by his fellow robots. We repair Robo and defeat his friends. Robo wants us to help save the world. We eventually make our way into a portal that will supposedly get us back to our homeland. How did you guys feel about the future?
I hate the Robot Factory so much. I figured out what I needed to do and I figured out what I needed to do. I just couldn't figure out where I needed to go at any point. There's literally nothing that shows you or tells you where to go. You just have to figure it out, and I got stuck on the conveyor belt loop so many times. Luckily, I don't have to grind a level for a while because of that. Because I think I did the loop like 5-6 times. But
man, thank God for auto battle. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
there
actually,
a couple
the
times
auto.
where I was just stuck, and I was like, I'll throw it on auto battle. I'm not doing
like
this anymore.
The thing is, like, on that last one, it's so much faster to do combo attacks because, like, you do the combo attacks with the fire sword, and it's pretty reasonable.
Dano, you seemed perplexed when I said auto battle.
I didn't know there was an auto battle.
There's an auto battle button. I think it's like Y on the top button on the controller.
Oh, I just like spam attack.
I mean, that's what the auto battle does. That's all the auto battle does is just spam attack.
That's pretty crazy though.
I think on keyboard it's B naturally. Why? No idea.
Don't know.
It's really out of reach. It's really annoying
really
to hit.
weird spot for it.
Yeah, isn't it, Dano? Isn't it? Isn't it the weirdest spot that it could be in?
Don't think this is my fault. No, the what's really crazy about this like sequence of the game, like the robot factory, there's nothing else like this in the rest of the game. This like forced movement where if you like touch a robot, then you get pucked up by a conveyor belt and put through this like forced battle loop and these like sound cues. I've played pretty far into the game at this point, and there's nothing else like this. So it's just this section of the game. It is not super duper fun. It's thematic and cool, but like I don't feel like I don't feel necessarily like it needed to be this way with like, 'cause you have to go on the conveyor belt at certain times. And if you just stand still, you are faster than the robots on the conveyor belt. So you just bump into them by accident. And you're like, oh, for serious? So you have to like keep on like nudging yourself back. And it's like, this is brutal. What are we doing here? And then even on that second sound cue one, Storm Rage, even on the controller, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah. I just mashed all 4 buttons at the same time. I said
all the buttons. Hit all the buttons until it worked. It just doesn't work.
Want to know how I eventually figured out how to get through that door?
Yes.
Because it my setup, this no joke took me an hour and a half to get through.
Oh.
If I was not doing this podcast, I would have stopped and I would have uninstalled and I would have never touched that game ever again. I had one screen up that was the SNES controller. I had another screen up that was the layout of the controllers or the controls for both the PlayStation controller, as much as I could figure it out because I was using a PlayStation controller, and keyboard to see if that would help me at all, while also having the actual prompt code up. So I had 3 different screens up, and I went through it on my PlayStation controller and the keyboard, just going, okay, if I do it and then I do it all 4 at once, does that do anything? No. If I do it and then I do it all 4 at once, and I did, does that do anything? If I do it and then I do one at a time, does that do anything? No. The eventual thing that I figured out, I hit the wrong buttons. I just hit the wrong buttons. I literally slammed my hand on the keyboard until it made a different sound. And while I was no joke, just slamming through the keys, my partner Stevie was slamming and button mashing on the controller, and it took both keyboard and controller button mashing like mad to get through that door.
Yeah, it didn't take me that long on controller. It just kind of took like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes of kind of like trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. And like I turned the sound effect way up so I could hear the sound cue.
Yeah.
It's awful what Daniel went through, but I think a lot of it was because
it's a bad port.
Because it's a bad port. So like keyboard, don't do mouse and keyboard if you're gonna play it. Like play it on a controller. That's what I would definitely suggest. But again, this is the only part of the game that's like that. And like, if you go to like the Steam forums, there are helpful answers in there for this as well, for people who have also struggled with it. So this isn't like a just you problem, but yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, especially so early in the game. So
yeah. But we're not quite done yet. We make our way through another time portal, and we eventually find ourselves in the end time, where we meet a mysterious stranger who explains this is where all timelines end. Those who travel through various timelines often get stuck here for a bit. We can keep traveling through them, but only 3 at a time? Why? Reasons. Can we keep up the robot? Sure. Only 3 at a time. Can we swap them out at any time? Sure. Only 3 at a time. Okay, but stop asking questions 3 at a time.
So you can swap it out anywhere at any point. Like you can switch out a character. So you could be like in like a dungeon. You can switch it out.
Is it any? Can you do it like is it a save point, or can you just do it anywhere?
Just do it anywhere, which I think is a change from the original game. I remember you having to go back to the end of time
to do it.
But I also admit I was a kind of an idiot teen, so like maybe I just didn't try. Because like it never tells you that. I remember that you can change out everywhere, or does the old man say you can change out at any point?
I don't.
The old man does say you can change out at any point.
Okay. So it's possible that I just didn't talk to the old man enough. But I was like, I think I was somewhere else in the game, and I was like, can I just switch out for like, you know, a different character here? I was like, oh, I can. That's kind of sweet. I'll take advantage of that, I guess. So.
The mysterious man tells us to check out the room next door, where the Master of War and a delightful little guy, one and the same, unlocks our magical abilities after running around the room 3 times in clockwise order. You have to be on the very edge of the wall. You can't just run around in a circle. I thought I just needed to run around a circle. Nope, gotta be on the wall the entire way through. The wall
and miss the door somehow.
Yeah, it's tricky. Luca is fire. No surprise, because she already does fire. So I don't know what the difference is.
It's a flamethrower. She has a flamethrower, not fire magic.
Okay. Robo is an empty shell of a bean and does not possess the ability to use magic. Chrono is light, which manifests as lightning. And M is ice. Then we head back to 1000 AD so we can figure out what the heck's going on.
So Chrono in the original game is lightning. It doesn't say light. It is actually lightning. He does have light spells later in the game, though. So I could see that could be one way there. But yeah, in the original game, he was lightning, and it said lightning, it said fire, it said ice, it said water. It gave the full words actually on the screen. It didn't have like the icons that it does in the port. So yeah, it was lightning in the original game. So
okay,
yeah, because he does lightning magic, for Pete's sakes. So that's to the end of time.
Yeah.
Other than the frustration, Storm Rage, what did you think about playing through to the end of time?
I think that there were 2 segments that I really loved, and everything else that if I'm being honest so far, is kind of fine. Like there's some good stuff, but I think the end of time and the trial scenes are the 2 segments that I went, okay, I see the cooking. I see where we're going. I like the theme of the future a lot. I did not enjoy the mechanics of it much at all, but I did enjoy the storytelling aspect of it. And so my hope going forward is that there's less of those frustrating mechanics and more story beats. More moments like the trial, more moments like the end of time of like, here's a big cool reveal thing.
Yes, you will. You will.
Yeah. I think after this point, I don't think they do the chime thing anymore. I hope not.
I don't remember anything more with the chime.
Because I think they realized, oh, this kind of stinks, and we're not going to do this.
Did they realize though? I mean, it's a port of a port of a port of a port. It's still in the game. Just saying. But yeah, other than that, no, I don't. I think the only places that the chime mechanic shows up is in the circus tent, and then in the future there in the factory specifically. I don't think there are any other times the chime is used because it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So, cool. Should we go on to tea with Finley?
Sure.
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
So this week, T stands for techniques, examples, and awesomeness. I'm just going to give some tips to the game. So here you go. Here are my tips to the game. So you were asked at the beginning if you wanted to use active or wait. So active just means that while you are menuing, the enemies continue to progress, and your like allies continue to progress as well. So like the action bar will continue to move for everybody on the screen, even while you're menuing. When you put it into wait mode, everything pauses. So like while you're menuing, everything kind of stops while you menu. As soon as you make a selection, then everything starts to move again, and then back and forth again. So like having on active makes for a pretty exciting battle encounter actually, because things are going breakneck speed, and you have to know what you want to do and make decisions like super duper quick and get them right. I love the active one, but I also just want to stand if you want to set it on wait and you want to be able to kind of think through where you want to go, what you want to do and that kind of stuff in between. So I think both have their merits. I think that the active use is just a lot more of an exciting, it's much more kind of almost like an action RPG before there were action RPGs kind of. So, shelters are awesome. Like they're absolutely amazing. You can use that save points in the overworld to heal up and get your magic points back. You don't ever spend money on them. In 600 AD in the Guardia Forest, you can just like the second shaky bush, there is a creature in there, and you scare him, and he drops a shelter, and then you can just get a bunch from that way. So you should always have just around 10 of them just sitting in your inventory. You can escape from battle. I did not know that until I was watching Puexel do a speed run recently. You just hit L and R, and then you can escape from battles. So there you go, in case you're curious. I'm sure it doesn't work on boss fights, but in the overworld if you want to. Techs are super cool. Techs are what they call, there's magic, and then there are techs. So tech would be Chrono Trigger's Whirlwind, which is just him spinning around, like doing an AoE attack with his sword. And then Luca's Flamethrower. And then there are dual techs where you combine the Whirlwind with the Flamethrower into a Flame Whirl. And then that uses Chrono's strength and his sword attack along with Luca's magic power. So, and the cool thing about this is if you go into the tech menu, it will tell you which two abilities are being combined. So you know if this is a tech worth using or not worth using, depending on the characters. Like maybe you have if Chrono's not very good at magic, maybe it's not worth, using one of his magic attacks with, say, Frog's, strength attack or something like that, for example.
Marley's heal whirl with Chrono is also comes in really great in a pinch.
Slurp Kiss is amazing. By the way, you'll get there later. It doesn't make any sense right now because we haven't got that far yet, but Slurp Kiss, awesome. Just putting that out there into the world.
All right.
So no one gets magic without visiting the Master of War. So if you get a character later who should have magic, they will not have access to magic until you take them to the Master of War. You can go at any point into these time locks. Remember, it's a time travel game. So even if you're in the middle of something, you can just kind of stop and go, I'm going to go head back to the end of time. I'm going to get myself some magic. That's something you can do. So that's
how do you go back to the end of time? I haven't figured.
You just go walk into a portal. And
so
back there.
You'll see it when you go to leave. Those pillars of light?
Yeah.
All those pillars lead to certain spots. You can go back to any of those at any time.
But in order to get back to the end of time, is that portal static?
Yeah, you just walk into any portal, and now it goes into the end of time.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the game, the portals are connected, but after you get to the end of time, then you go, there's always, the end of time as an intermediary. So every portal leads to the end of time now, instead of leading to each other.
Okay, and so from up until this point, portals have only existed through cutscenes that Luca has found.
Yes.
From here on out, are there going to be areas that are just, here is a portal that you can always go to?
Yeah. Yep. In 1000 AD, the portal you use a lot is the one in the fair. You just go up to the end of the fair and go up to the top of the fair, and there's a portal, and that'll take you right to the end of time.
Okay.
Yep. So the portals you've already kind of used so far that have been like cutscenes still exist in the game, and then you can use them throughout. So.
Yeah, the one in the woods is still there in 600 AD. Yeah.
Don't use walkthroughs unless you're stuck, or if you're going to use it sparingly. So a lot of this fun of this game is kind of managing the navigating time. So you have to kind of, the game doesn't say, okay, now go to 600 AD. You'll be like, okay, I need to go talk to Melchior. Well, where's Melchior? Melchior is in 1000 AD. So you have to then go to 1000 AD, find Melchior, talk to Melchior, and then go somewhere else. So a lot of the fun of this game is kind of navigating time and remembering what things are happening where and when, and kind of navigating through that. And the guide takes a lot of that fun out of the game. So I would encourage you, if you're going to use a guide, use it just for keeping track of where we're at, because with our areas, that's how we're kind of separate the game up. Use it just for that, or if you need it for which items are in the area, that's fine as well, I would say. But I would be careful about reading too far ahead of them, because it will kind of ruin some of the fun.
There's also boxes where it gives you to the boss mechanics. I follow that as well, because focus that the dragon in the mechanical drag you fight, you focus the head, then you do the legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I enjoy kind of figuring out the bosses on my own, but I could definitely see using the boss boxes as well. So so some of them that's not always super
some of them
easy.
they're not exactly clear. What they do.
Mystery chests. Those mystery chests where it's this is a mysterious chest.
I haven't figured out any of those.
You won't yet. That's okay. You shouldn't have. You can't. You can't. That's something that you will come across later in the game, and not for a couple of weeks in like podcast time, actually. But when you get there, just kind of remember that this is what I would say, use the guide, because it's hard to remember where all the mystery chests are, and there's some super good stuff in there that you're going to want, like just armor and stuff. So I would say use a guide for that to remember where all the chests are, and there is a trick to the chests. There are chests that are in 600 AD. They're the same ones that are 1000 AD. You go to the 600 AD one first. That charges it. You say, do you want to open it now? You say no. That charges the chest. Then you can go to 1000 AD and open that chest, and you get an improved version of what was in that chest. And then you can go back to 600 AD and then open that chest to get the original version of thing that was in that chest. So time, you get to play with time a lot with those chests as well. And there are a handful of them throughout the world. There's nothing major in them. It's just, but it's a cool stuff, and it's a neat little mechanic that they have. So, yay, time travel. You guys hungry? Knock a sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Munch, munch, munch.
Matt, what's our first good?
First good is the soundtrack. It's just a banger. It's just an all-timer. Like, everything, all the soundtrack is good. Just the entire soundtrack is. That's what I've been listening to this entire week. Like, just in my ears while I'm working is the Chrono Trigger soundtrack. The Mysterious Wood theme is probably one of my favorite of all time, where it's just like that, and then just all of it's good. Just all of it's good. There's no bad music in this game. Tell me a bad track and I'll tell you wrong.
There isn't one. If you want a fantastic version of this, check out TPR's Chrono Trigger. He does piano music, like slow piano versions of like a lot of RPGs. And his Chrono Trigger one is outstanding. So I'd encourage you to check that one out. It's great.
Yeah, I've been posting TikToks of Chrono Trigger music in the game channel because it's that good.
It is that good. What's our not so good, Storm Rage?
I've never been more frustrated than those stupid door codes. Like I had to walk away the first time, and the second time, I was so visibly frustrated that my partner was like, "Okay, let me see if I can help you out with this." And then she took 30 minutes, and she was like, "Oh, this is infuriating." And I was like, "Yeah, it sucks." And it's so frustrating to have such a really insignificant moment of the game. It's just a stupid door. That's all it is. Just getting through a stupid door. It's not a big boss battle. It's not a big reveal. It's nothing significant. It's just a door. And if it was this bugged, why not just take it out? Why not just say this door is now open? You can just do that. If you're porting the game, you can just have the door open. If it doesn't work, that's what you should do.
Yeah, and you aren't alone in thinking about this. I'll talk about this later, what I'm struggling with as well. But yeah, no, it's completely fair criticism. Completely fair criticism. And like, yeah, 100%. It's dumb. It's dumb. I've got the best good. And for me, I mean, this game doesn't play around. I love it. As a story to get to, and it gets right to it. You're time traveling like right from the jump. Like the game starts, you do a fun little intro where you're kind of getting the basics of the game. You have a little combat scenario with a robot that gives you like fake points to use on a plushie if you want. And then you jump in, and then the game starts. Boom. You start in 1000 AD, go right back to 600 AD. And you're just time traveling from the jump, and like the game, you see what you're doing. You're going back and forth, and it's just super cool and super fun. And I just love how it gets right into it. The game kind of suffers a little bit from Matrix syndrome, where like the Matrix is so good that it's become a parody of itself. I think Chrono Trigger is in a similar boat, where it's so good it's almost a parody of itself.
It's hard to like, it's hard to be like, oh, this trope, oh, this trope, oh, these are basically kids making stupid decisions. But guess what? That's what all of it came from, this and other games similar to it.
Yeah, there are some copycats out there that do great games, but like this was the original. And so when you're playing it for the first time 30 years later, it can kind of feel like, wow, this is dated and sad. But I still absolutely love it, and it's been a pure joy. So, but the intro was fantastic for me. I loved it. I did not think I would love it so much, and it's great. It's nostalgia though. It's pure nostalgia. I love it. I got some questions for you guys.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
I will ask myself 3 questions.
Matt, what are you liking so far?
Yeah. What am I liking so far? This game's good.
Mm.
It's just a good game. It's just I feel like a 19 like the last time I played this was 25 years ago. I was like 19 years old. I was in college, and I played it in college and it just takes me right back. It just it's nostalgia and it holds up, and that's hard to do nowadays. Like nostalgia a lot of times doesn't hold up. This is nostalgia that holds up. Storm Rage, what are you liking so far?
The trial scene genuinely shook me. I was like, oh, this game doesn't play around. I ate an old man's lunch, and now I'm going to be found guilty. And I thought for sure, like, I thought through the answers, I thought through the questions. And I was like, what is the honest, truthful answer to each of these? And then every now and then the game would be like, turns out you were lying. And I was like, I didn't mean to lie, but I did, I guess, on accident. Oopsies. And just the fact that it was like, hey, those things that you thought were just like hanging around, doing weird things, that had consequences. I thought it was just a really, really beautiful way to start off the game. Dan, how about yourself?
One thing about your liking though thing. So Puexel is a JRPG, classic RPG speedrunner. You've probably seen him on like Games Done Quick. He speedran this game in like 2019 at Summer Games Done Quick. It was like the final game. It was super duper cool. But he had a really cool thing to say about this, about a recent speedrun. About the trial, where he goes, it was perfectly timed where it's not like, it's still the early game, but you've played just enough game where you can't save scum it and go back and fix your decisions. So, which I absolutely, he's spot on and right. Like you can't go back because you've already gone through that first dungeon. You're not going to redo that, but it's still also very early in the game. It's well thought out, well planned. It's so cool.
I'm surprised more games haven't stolen this. Where, like, it's like early game tutorial area, and then it gives you like a check of like, okay, here's what you did, here's what you didn't do, here's some, here's some consequences of those like early actions that you did. It never, like, I have yet to encounter a game that has done this.
And yet you still can steal from the mayor.
I know, it's so great.
For me, what am I liking? It's a simple story told really, really well. Like, they don't like info dump on you. They tell the story via gameplay for the most part. And then it grows into it. Like the techniques that you gain at the beginning of the game, you grow upon as the game progresses with dual techs and then trip techs. And it's super clever. It's super cool. I love the storytelling they do like in game. I think it's a lot of fun. Then the cutscenes are also just absolutely gorgeous and wonderful. Not necessarily the cutscenes that they added into it, but like the initial ones, like with certain things, like if you kind of, because there's these cutscenes they added in from one of the ports at some point, and I'm not sure they add a lot to the game or not, but the ones that are from the original game are still just awesome, and it's just simple pixel art that really gets the point across really, really cleverly, I think.
Yeah.
Matt, what'd you struggle with?
I really struggled with how the game looked at first. Like I did not like the way the HD graphics looked on the old school pixel backgrounds, the quote unquote HD graphics, the smoothed out pixel graphics, right? So I would switch to the pixel graphics, and it just didn't sit right with me because it didn't look right. And it hit me the other day. It's the CRT scan lines. I miss the CRT scan lines. Good news, but I really wish there was a mod for that. And guess what? I searched on the internet today. I found one. It's called Reshade. I figured it out. I'm going to play with it a little more. I will post a guide for how to do the Reshade mod. It's like a little thing you just install over the game, and you have an option to do CRT scan lines, and with the old school graphics, it looks amazing. It looks just like it did on TV, on my TV 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Beautiful. Stormrage. Well, other than the thing that we talked about, what are you struggling with?
I just really had hoped that the controls would be more intuitive. They're not. unless you've got an SNES controller lying around, it's just not good. Like, the mouse and key is just terrible. Like, to open up a menu, what would you guys think that the key might be in order to pause the game and open up the settings menu?
That's the Y button for me.
Dan, but on a keyboard. On a
escape?
keyboard, what would you guess?
Escape. I would say escape.
I would also say escape. Would you like to know what it is? C. Why? Who's to say?
Because that's probably connected to the button that's to the right, right? The west button on the controller.
I don't know, and I don't care. It's just bad, is all it is.
I'm just saying.
And then when I connected my PlayStation controller, I was like, oh, well then this should map so that way it maps to whatever the SNES controls are. It doesn't. It also doesn't. So the actual just clicking through things, opening up a menu, selecting things has been absolutely infuriating. And I am so glad I've purchased a new SNES controller, and I'm hoping that will fix my problem with that, because that has been my number one most annoying thing. Is anytime I go into my party, I accidentally click out of it a bajillion times. Anytime I go to equip something, I accidentally unequip it a bajillion times. And just the simple confirm and back buttons not being where I expect them to be has been terrible. Dano, what are you struggling with?
Yeah, I have an Xbox controller, just in case anyone's curious. The Xbox controller works just fine. So if you don't want to go out and get an SNES controller, which I would encourage you to do if you want to, because it'd be lots of fun. But if you have an Xbox controller, that's what I use. It works great. That's what it was obviously designed to work with, just the Xbox controller, not a PlayStation controller, not keyboard and mouse. It's just Xbox controller, or like a generic USB, which with the SNES controller would be. But yeah, same thing as Stormy. It's a port of a port of a port. It's really sad that like truly one of like the great games, like it's a Mount Rushmore. It's a historical video game. Like, whether you love the game or not, it's a historical video game that shaped the genre. And the fact that Square can't be bothered to even put a proper like port of the game onto Steam is super duper frustrating.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not asking for a full remaster. I don't think this game needs a full remaster. If you want to do a pixel remaster like you do with Final Fantasy, super cool. Do that. You don't need to remake the game.
A pixel remaster would be so good with this. Oh my god.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be awesome to do that. But like, just a proper simple port with a little bit of thought put into it. It's all I think this game really needs. And they didn't even give you that. It's like they put the mobile game onto PC, which is just very frustrating. It still looks great. I mean, it still looks fine. It sounds great because it's the same soundtrack. I would say I've enjoyed the way it looks just fine. I would say the first 5 minutes I was a little bit taken aback, but then I've changed the HD version of it, and it looks good. It looks fine. I have no problem. It's not like playing Octopath Traveler or anything like that, but it still looks like a nice little dated video game. The soundtrack is still fantastic. But yeah, it's obviously a port of a port of a port, mm-hmm. I guess. Which is super disappointing, because like, why not? There has to be some plan, because they didn't even like when they redid like that SNES like little USB box with like classic games. FF6 was on there, but Chrono Trigger wasn't. Link to the Past was on there, but Chrono Trigger wasn't. So it's really kind of curious. They've done nothing with the game, and it is very much one of those great games. So I'm not sure if there's legal things that are involved with it or what, but. Yeah, they don't do anything with it, which is frustrating. What surprised you about the game, Matt?
Like I said, the last time I played this was 25 years ago, and I'm surprised how much I've completely forgot about. Like, it's like something like, it's like, oh right, there's this. Oh right, there's this. There's parts where like, wait, what was this? Like, I played it like when it was out, like when I could rent it for like off at a Blockbuster every once in a while. But like, I always got to the end of time and didn't get past it. I always like, that's at least in my rental time. I played it back in college, but there's so much I completely forgot about, and it's great just rediscovering it. Storm Age.
So, one of the things with JRPGs that is my personal pet peeve that I find has genuinely ruined most games that do this, hasn't ruined the game for me here. So the combat when I am playing a JRPG, I only want turn-based combat of action up, everything else freezes. I can take as long as I want to choose whatever it is that I want. And Wait kind of does that, but not really. Of like when it waits, when a character's option is up, I still have to click a thing and go into a menu before everything will freeze. And so this is actually, I can't remember which Final Fantasy it was. It was either 11 or 12 or one of those that I just stopped playing because I hated it so much. I don't hate it here. I still would prefer a full pause, choose, then do next thing. But I don't hate it. And there are some really interesting combat mechanics and the way that it kind of initiates the combat of like everything is pre-set as far as the location of characters. And there's some really, really fun mechanics in the combat. Like there's a boss where if you're too close to him, he'll do counterattacks. So you have to wait for him to get further away in order for you to actually activate your things. And so it does it in really beautifully designed stuff. But I really just wish that it was turn-based combat. So normally, either the door thing or the real-time combat, I would have bounced off this game immediately. But the story is interesting enough, and the art style is beautiful enough that I'm still giving it a shot. Dano, what surprised you about the game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of what I had something else to say, but I actually am gonna kind of build off of what you said there with combat, which I think is so much fun about how they do combat. Is the only static characters on the screen really are your party. The mobs move around the screen as things go, so they kind of like wander around and do attacks, and they'll kind of get closer and further apart. And you have different abilities to like attack different ways. So some of your attacks will attack in a straight line. Some of them will hit like a group of characters that are clumped up. Some of them will be full screen attacks. And so it really adds some pretty fun mechanics to like waiting until the mobs are in certain parts of the screen for you to initiate your attack, which I think is super fun. So it kind of like is really clever like ways to get you to be thoughtful about the screen. And then especially in some of the more difficult fights, like also hitting this up at the right time, waiting until like the boss's, big attack hits in order for you to hit your AoE heal, or for you to like try to, like some of them you can actually dissipate based on what you learn about like in town. So some of them might say something like, hey, did you know that wind does X? And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. I have a wind attack. So when they're doing Y, I should do X. And so there's really cool like breadcrumbs that are put in the game for like a pretty simple combat style that is done really cleverly to kind of add a little bit of depth to it. So I think that's maybe what really surprised me about it. I did kind of forget about that. I remember that like, the AoEs and how stuff work, but like I kind of forgot how good it really does feel and how thoughtful it can be. And then how hectic the active battle can be. And like some of those fights, you are just like, you have to get the menuing spot on or you're just going to blow the fight. And I think that's really fun. So,
yeah.
All right, quickly, let's sell the game to a friend.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Rage, sell the game to a friend.
I can't yet. I can say this. Buy a controller, don't do a me, then this game should be much better. Also, this game deserves better than this port offers. I can see the beauty and the absolute mastercraft that is behind this game, and this port undercuts it at so many terms. Like, Square, please give us an actual remaster so that way we can appreciate the game for what it is and not be annoyed by the dumb aspects of this stupid port.
Pixel remaster would make my day.
Matt, how about yourself?
Honestly, this is a must play if you enjoy video games at all. For me, like it's up there. But honestly, I suggest you buy the Steam version for $4, then buy a Super Nintendo emulator and download the ROM and then play it that way. It'd be easier. Because this like echoing, this port sucks. This port is bad. Dan, how about you?
You know all those old people who that video games are better when they were kids? They're talking about Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
The port's not the port doesn't make it unplayable, but it definitely doesn't do the game.
It makes it harder. Yeah, it makes it harder.
All right, we're playing Chrono Trigger again next week. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to all our patrons for patronizing us. Sorry. Special thank you to our producers and best friends forever, Baximus and RidiculousHat. You can find links to the Discord and content information, the pinned comment on our Patreon page, or patreon.com/squelch. That is not completely accurate. I had to update that. We do have a blue sky thing. Matt, what's the blue sky thing?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. You're asking me now. I didn't even prepare for me. That's good job.
I figured it was just like Squelch or something. Squelchcast.
It's squelchpod.bluesky.social.
There it is. There it is. You can go follow us over there. Like Matt posts stuff.
Yeah.
It's very kind of him.
I post stuff and I retweet myself every once in a while.
There you go. Perfect.
And the Chrono Trigger's a game, and the games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Sling those time portals, baby!
The Disney Energy Show! Everybody bye!
I'm sorry you had so much trouble with the game. I do think it's going to get fixed when you get a controller.
I think so too.
I hope so.
I also think that it'll get fixed, just going forward, because I think that the games do this all the time, and it's kind of an interesting thing of, like, the worst part is usually at the beginning, and then it just gets better from there as you get more used to controls, and the game is able to tell more of its story rather than the exposition of it, and to compare it to, like, Cult of the Lamb, which is my bottom ranked game. When I was playing Cult of the Lamb, I knew what was going to be there. I knew it wasn't going to be one of my top games. I don't think that that's going to happen with Chrono Trigger. I still genuinely have a lot of faith in this game because there are so many beautiful moments and times where I've gone, oh, that's really smart. It's just been dumb technical stuff.
Yeah, and that's the worst, right? Is like, because that's fixable stuff. Like, that stuff that shouldn't, like, exist in the game. And it's $15 full price. So it's not like you're paying nothing for this game. That's $15 for a 30-year-old game is something. So it's $5 right now, $4 right now. So you can go pick it up for $4. That's rounding up. I know it's like $3.50 or something. But yeah, that's so frustrating though. I can definitely see how I'd be frustrated too.
It's also weird. We've been so spoiled in modern gaming. There's no quest log. There's no, like, go here, go do this, do this. It's like, no, you got to pay attention to what they're saying, and, like,
yeah,
this is the next thing.
That is the thing that I'm most worried about. Is I'm going to just lose my ADHD, and I'm just going to go, oh well, I don't know where I'm at anymore, and then I'm just going to go all caps, Tano, help me in the chat.
I haven't closed the FAQ at all. Like, since I opened it, I downloaded it and I have it like in a Word doc right now, and like I'm just bookmarked where I am in the walkthrough. Also, notebooks help.
I have a notebook and a pad. I have a pad of paper and a pen on my desk where I take notes about what is where and what to do next. I started playing with the walkthrough open, and like very quickly was like, oh, this would have been way more fun if I had figured this out myself. Like, if I had thought through this, 'cause I was like, well, why am I going to 600 AD at some point for something? That might not have been AD, but I was like, why am I going here exactly? Like, the guide said to go here, but like, the game surely told me through some mechanic or another that I should go there. And so once I kind of I minimized the guide, the walkthrough, then like all those little things sort of popping up a little bit, and the game just shone. It's just it's never complicated. It's never trying to trick you. But it does kind of reward you for kind of just paying attention, and it kind of leads you through breadcrumbs, which is very fun. It's definitely not nothing super clever. I'm probably overselling it, but it's still cool. It's still kind of like, okay, here's these little things. So I've been really enjoying it. So
the man at the end of time will also tell you kind of where to go.
Yes, if you go back and talk to him, he'll be like, hey, so what about you heading out over to this time or that time, maybe you should check something out there. He'll kind of like hint at that a little bit. So,
yeah.
Cool. Should we head over to After Dark and talk about games we're going to play for the next calendar year?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Storm Rage wants me to hydrate. Hey, thanks everyone in Twitch for hanging out. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk at you again next week. Oh, thanks Schwal for the resub on Twitch. Thanks a bunch for that.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.